Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, Techado again. And we have reached to that point where this discussion needs to happen. Where me as a presenter, I'm going to present some opinions. And you as a commenter, you're going to comment and utilize that comment section to express your opinions. Because otherwise, this thing doesn't work out. It's a monodactic way of communication. Basically, what you're doing is just watching the video and then you're like, okay, this guy said no, that doesn't work like that. I want this to be a didactic method of communication, which means that both parties should equally, take part in this communication. Here it is, finally. And yesterday we made this video, and after making the video yesterday, our VIS was sitting at 0.0038, and now it is sitting at 0.0025. So our job is to ask this question, now what? Our job is to be asking these questions. What is going on with this VIS, and what can we discover? And hence, what are points that we should look upon? Also, what all informations that you can collect methodically, and not just fudding or anything, just methodically collect information. Because otherwise, you go to Discord channel, pride discussion, and everything is just except for like few people, I think it's just not worth my time to discover anything from there. Alrighty, so let's change scene and let's go to let's see what happened actually. What all mistakes they made. First of all, every update was a mistake, and if we look into charts and everything and try to compare, we can break down all of this stuff. But before we do that, at first, you go ahead and open up Apollo Pegaxy.io. You go for overview. And then we are going to talk about mint versus burn. So from their very beginning, they wanted to have more burn versus more mint. So, and I was like, okay, that makes sense, because it actually logically makes sense. If you want to stabilize, you have to make sure that the amount of burn is more than amount of mint. So they were doing this, but then this update happened in this era, like in this time frame, where people did not know what to do. Should they breed more pacers? Should they breed rare? And if they're breeding rare, it's already second breed, so it's going to cost more. So people are thinking about all of this. I'm pretty sure you are thinking also. We all are thinking about this. And hence, it's in a chaotic 3, 4, 5 days phase. And this chaos is bringing VIS down with no sort of, assurance amongst people's heart. And I'm talking about one stuff. I'm talking about people that are living in first world country versus people living in third world countries. People in first world countries, they will still hold certain amount of VIS. They will still play around with it. Why? Because it's like if you have invested $2,000-3,000, that's probably a week's paycheck and stuff like that. So for them, it's not a big deal. But people, those who are from third world countries, $2,000-3,000 might be a 2-month salary, to 5 months salary. And that is the reason I have been saying this on the channel, that ROI first. Number 2, spend according to what your wallet can support. If you have not done these two and you're from a third world country, this is a sad stage that you are in. It's either you cannot even get out, you are locked in, everything is crashing in front of you. And that's where that's where I always say, do not listen to a lot of influencers. Do not listen to a lot of content creators that keep on saying, oh, buy this. I think this is going to be good. No, look into your wallet. You have separated a certain amount of money that you can play with. And that is the money that's either going to profit, and if it's not profit, it's gone. You don't lose anything. Your family is fine. Your friends across everybody is fine. And you are not hurting yourself, because eventually, if you hurt yourself, you're hurting everybody around you. So with that said, let's go and talk about the amount of vis burned. Now, the amount of vis burned is 76%. And total amount of vis, as you can see, is minted way more. Now, let's make this in 3 days, like last 7 days. So after all this update and everything, it actually took like 2 days, and you will see that mint going high again. The reason mint is going high, because first of all, breeding doesn't exist anymore. You know, like literally people, those who are breeding, they're just putting up Pegas on marketplace, and in marketplace, it's not even selling anything. It's just there. You know, people are putting 40, 45 Pegas, you know, people are putting legendaries now for 600 USDT. Doesn't make sense, but this is a form of chaos that's going on. And this chaos is only because there is no sign of Viz being bullish. It's all bearish right now. So that is one factor. The second factor, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people are watching right now, I've been watching this for a long time, is this liquidity pool, out of which everybody's at 2, 4, 5, 10%, but the first three is at 25%, 8%, 7%, 5%, 2%, and all that stuff. So these guys that has provided liquidity to us, some of them actually took certain amount of liquidity today. As a matter of fact, the number one guy, not the guy or the address, I do not know whether guy or a girl, but the number one address has taken some sort of liquidity out today, and that is the reason also it's contributing to some sort of you know, like a huge impact in the VIS's downward trend that we are seeing right now. And with that said, with these three factors, and I will say you that please look into liquidity pool, see what is the percentage more or less every day, who is cashing out, how is cashing out. I watch that every day, and if you see a major change in that, your market will drop historically, and that's exactly what's happening now. Remember back literally a month back, I posted this video sitting not at much, 900 views. Nobody used to watch the channel probably. 2 mistimed update, 95% crash Pegaxy's future. At that time, the comments were funny. You know, like because there was literally no comments. It was all probably bots and stuff like that. I had said you this, and watch what I said just a month back. You know, like a month before, 3rd of March. Yeah, 3rd of March. They kept on dropping after that Valentine's Day event and all that stuff. So that Valentine's Day event didn't go actually good. And I've seen a lot of Valentine's Day tickets were getting undersold for a very, very less price. At first, the prices were skyrocketed, but later on, they're like... So I did say you that Valentine's Day event from day one is what started everything to go down gradually. So Valentine's Day event happened, which is 14th, and VIS stops crashing, and then suddenly they had to implement the breeding changes because they wanted to bring burn under control. They wanted to, you know, people mint a little bit less, and then those people, those who are breeding and making money, they're like, you know what, I'm out too. And then the volume keeps on dropping. So main thing is not about the price or anything. Keep on watching the volume. That volume is dropping and dropping. So then after that, we come to March, and March was the month of updates. It was just updates and updates. While we thought that it is going to be we were adapting to it. All of us, we were adapting to these updates. You know, like at first, then came Stats Matter. And all of our Pegas that were actually doing good suddenly started going bad. So there were Pegas in my arsenal, which were older Pegas, which I have to fuse because there's no other way. And, you know, like, so let's load up this page, and all of these peggers were doing good. All these pacers, they were doing amazing, like before the stats matter update. But stats matter happened, and again everything changed. And then people were discussing about stats and everything. I wasted 5 days of my life trying to figure out different stats, trying to go through track data and everything. Okay, so I mean, I don't repent, only for the reason because it helped a lot of people in the community, and those stats actually helped a lot of people. And it was appreciated by the community, so I don't repent on that. So after all that, the biggest problem, and I had a very big problem for this, was the liquidity pool. Was the price pool. And you will see that even in my Twitter, I had just made posts after posts. I don't know how many of you guys follow my Twitter, but I had made posts after posts about the new price pool. That stop this price pool. Like, this price pool is not going to like affect anything, like just like this pacer 45 27 12 6 originally, which was 100 60 25 15 225 and 500, probably was not good, only because they could have kept the pacer same, and they could have increased the rare higher, epic and founding and legendary. And I even drew them the picture, like I even suggested them that this should be, your stuff. In that way, it's a very clear strategy that you're trying to make people go from pacer to epic by giving them 2.1 time reward. Rare is the route that they have to take. People will be involved in the game. But instead of all that stuff, they went and did this, which is 1550. Basically, one legendary can make the amount of mint that probably 40 pacers at 25% win rate can make. This is just hideous, like you cannot be doing this. But hey, I am not the strategy. Whoever the strategy officer is, whoever is their strategist, I just say one thing, that please try to discuss this, like who comes up with this strategy. These are nursery level strategies. This is how you tank the game. And this was my problem from the very beginning, that you cannot touch Pacer's price pool. If you touch Pacer's price pool, you're affecting 90% of your users. Well, they came up, they said that, Corey said that he saw only 1% change in player base. So they're like, 1% is probably not a big deal. But guess what happens now? They said that things are going to change within 5 days. They say that things are going to go back to normal within coming few days or anything. But there is no way this can be stopped right now. As a matter of fact, today, standing in 21st, right now, as of now, if you go through dextools.io, which is this browser thing which I use, you can see the amount of people liquidating. Like, you will see people just selling. I've seen people, they're just selling. Obviously not the scalpers, those who are shorting this and everything. They're trying to make something out of it. But it's in a chaotic situation that it has never been ever. So that was it. That is actually the situation right now. There's a huge panic amongst the community, and a lot of people are literally exiting the game. It's your decision what you want to do. I'm not going to disclose my decision yet. Why? Because in that way, I'm going to influence you with my decision and what I'm going to do with my Pegas. As a matter of fact, I did fuse two rares today. One was 10% or the other one was 15. And my epic is at 37%. And the amount of vis I made today from this epic is basically what I made in the last 3-4 days with 20 of my pacers. So that's something that you need to ask. You have to also remember this, that I do not know whether we can trust this vision or not. I simply do not know whether we all as a community can trust this decision or not. But according to their plan is to make Vis more exclusive. Their plan is to make, to take off a lot of players that, are stuck in that pacer zone and everything and cannot reinvest into that game, and build exclusively for a certain quantity of people. In that way, what happens, exclusivity goes up and they become one of those tokens that are going to be very exclusive. I don't see anything happening like that. And as a matter of fact, if that is true, things would have changed into an effect. Things can only come into an effect for a month, but we have just seen decline after decline, right? So that was the main thing. Trust establishment is a very, very big thing. And that is what exactly they should work on. You cannot go out of your white paper and make fuse mechanic, because we all thought it was food Pega, and I was preparing an episode. It's actually relying in my hard drive right now about how to fuse and everything. I thought it's a Pega food burning level mechanic. How can I relate that to stats and everything? But it happened completely out. It took like the whole community in shock. They're like, what? So, and then they re-rolled. I'm gonna give credits to them that they re-rolled everything, and they made all the adjustments. They listened, at least, they listened on the fusion costs and everything, but it was not enough. It was not enough. At that time, the train has left the station. So it's in a very complicated scenario right now, and I personally know a lot of people that are holding more than million Vis. Somebody I know personally is a guild member, lives in LA. He's holding 5 million Vis. And all these people, when they dump, the value of this token will go down by a lot. But when it is going to come back again, or if ever it is going to come back again, remains a very, very, very big question. Very big question. So, as inconclusive it might sound, this is probably the first episode which has reached no conclusion. As a matter of fact, I cannot talk anything about it because I have not seen the future of this. But according to what data we have, whatever data you have or you might see, and going through the past past 24 hours or so, it's a long way from recovery. Taking that Vis from 0.0025 is kinda impossible to bring it to even 0.005. Why? Because now you have given panic to people, those who were holding this Vis. So until and unless everybody has just tilled their Vis, exited, or they are still there, it's just that they have just depleted their resources, they've dumped everything, only then we can see a rise. But then we have people, those who are shorting Vis, they're bringing in more Vis. Before we leave, I also think there's one way you can save this Vis, but it's probably not going to happen. And again, I'm nobody, who is a content creator. He's nobody, right? So probably if they can implement this in exchanges, centralized exchanges, CX, Binance, they can implement this in at least Coinbase or somewhere else, in an exchange. There is a way this can be recovered. There is a possibility this can be recovered. Even though Corey tweeted out that he's going to be partner up with, I think, Bit, something called Big Bit or Bit Official. I did tweet this out today in the morning. Let's see. I did tweet this out. Yeah, Bybit official. So they're partnered up with this team, and they will be, they will be in that exchange. And this has like 1.6 million followers, and Corey just started following them. So we are keeping a close eye on this, and we are going to post you more updates. But yes, it's a very, very dark days coming ahead of us. So it's your decision what you want to do. Cut a loss, exit the game, stay. You have already profited. And third is that you don't care. You're staying at the end of it. And again, I'm here because I want to see what's going on. And if you have not ROI'd, figure out a way to ROI. There's still a lot of ways to ROI. Sell, resell Pegas is another way. Obviously there are other ways which I cannot talk about, but because then I'm developing bad habits to you guys. But there are ways to still profit. So, yep, my job is done. Please stay away from a lot of misinformation in the market. Please, that's the reason I used to run this channel, because there is a lot of misinformation going on in the market right now. But do take care of your assets. You are the sole decision maker of your assets, and let nobody influence you. You have to take a little bit of time out. You have to be calm, and then you have to decide what are you going to do. And once you have stepped on that plan, if tomorrow this skyrockets and you're already out, don't repent. If you have decided to stay and this plummets down and everything goes to zero, like what happened to F1 racing, people, those who joined like 2 months before that game was gone, they lost a lot of money because that's crypto. Then you should not repent. You should not repent at all, because that's your decision. And that's how this episode ends. Goodbye. Take care. Utilize this comment section for your opinion. Utilize this comment section about what's your vision by collecting information, not by just fudding and your personal thoughts. Collect informations and think. Also write down what is your decision according to how many Pegas you own. Because a lot of the time I see in chat, people not having Pegas, having opinions about it. No, if you are having Pegas, that means you are invested on the game. If you don't have Pegas, you just have Vis, that means you just are, trying to buy Vis, or you got free money, which is basically Vis. So think about it. See you guys on another episode. Till then, take care. Goodbye. I'm out.